Hello, everyone. I'm sure many of us remember those days when there was a lot of militancy in the Niger Delta and the unrest and how much it cost Nigeria. And it took so many years for there to be able to bring this relative peace that we have in that area. Today, we have Tinubu trying to destroy that whole thing and just put mayhem in the whole area. His minister, because right now Tinubu is masquerading as the illegitimate president of Nigeria. He has taken the powers of president and doing all the things that he wants to do. Someone who rigged election, who got his way in there, not duly elected by his people, got his illegitimacy to be legitimized. Because of course, the judiciary is a plaything of corrupt politicians and not the last resort of common man. He has been there doing all sorts of things. And his minister, his so-called minister of FCT, has not allowed peace to happen in Rivers State because he feels that the governor, he is the one that brought in the governor, and that the governor has to now do whatever he's bidding, which the governor hasn't done. And for 2 years, the people of Rivers State have not found peace for them to get the good governance that they're supposed to do, because the governor is busy fighting someone who is fighting him, and the people are feeling the effect. Wike has refused to remove his eye from a state he governed for 8 years as a minister, where nobody could say anything to him. He declared that he cannot be godfather in Nigerian politics, and then he wanted to become a godfather. Right now, you have all of this going on. Tinubu has, what do I call it, the power to remove Wike without any going anywhere, but he's decided the one that he does not have the power to do is what he's going to do. There are two people are fighting. We've seen all the unrest, we've seen the proclamation that has come from both sides, and something going on, and then you go ahead with on what you don't even have power to go and punish one side and leave the one that you have power to do and not do it. Right? A lot of craziness, that is going on. And this is the thing that many Nigerians don't understand. Even those who get themselves, even the politicians who get themselves elected. When you suppress the power of the people, you also suppress your own power. Because first of all, for a declaration to happen, a declaration can be done, but for it to be passed, for that state of emergency to stand, Tinubu has to go to the National Assembly. Not only go to the National Assembly, he has to get 2/3 votes from each house, from the Senate and also from the House of Representatives. And this is where it comes in. What kind of people do they allow to get into the National Assembly? Because most times what now happens is that there's a lot of rigging that happens, either rigging, either coercion, either buying of votes or whatever, to ensure that credible people with courage that want to get into the National Assembly don't get there. So in a way, they end up making themselves vulnerable. They end up making themselves slaves. Now you have Tinubu illegitimately suspending and removing State House of Assembly, governor, deputy. Who gave you the right? Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, that he's referring to, does not confer that right on him. Yes, it does confer a right on a president. Even he's acting as the president of Nigeria. He has put himself as the president of Nigeria. What Section 305 of the Constitution did was to confer the right on the president to declare a state of emergency in a state based on certain issues happening, which really, if you look at it, except you're trying to be clever by half, it's not the case in Rivers State. Because if you say that's the case in Rivers State, then literally how many states in Nigeria you have to declare a state of emergency? Almost all the states in Nigeria are there. Let's even say that's it, that all the conditions that were set out by Section 305 of the Constitution were met. But then Section 305 of the Constitution did not give a president the right to remove and appoint a military head. Say wetin happen? As in, you are what? You are who? The only way that one can be removed is through, impeachment, like what this Rivers State House of Assembly was trying to do, which is to do an impeachment, start the impeachment procedure. So that's legal. They can do that. Either by resignation of the governor deciding I'm not doing this again, I'm resigning, or there's ill health. Those are the three ways. Not that you will now come and remove them, because that's the same thing they also say to these governors, that you cannot just go and remove elected local government, chairmen or chairwomen. You can't just go and do that. But this is what we have. This is what happens when the rule of law is not followed, institutions are weakened, the laws are not abided with, the constitution is discarded, the judiciary it's browbeaten and under the thumb of a few, being controlled by a few. Then you now have a country where anyhowness, is going on. That's where we are currently in Nigeria, and everybody suffers it. Rivers State people sat down. An election was rigged for Tinubu. You see the effect today. You see it today. That's why at all times, no matter how it is, we must learn to stand for what is right. We must learn to stand for what is good. We must learn to stand for the truth, for justice, for equity, no matter what. At the end of the day, that's the best place to stay in. Today, you see the Nigeria. You see anyhowness being done. You see anyhowness being done. And this is what is result to. If you do nothing, it's only a matter of time before the person is emboldened. When I refused to stand up about the national, anthem being passed the way and manner in which it was passed, with no regards for Nigeria. And I was saying to people, what's my business with national anthem? If Nigeria let them be saying, hey, hey, ha, 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 ooh, 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 that's their national anthem. Hey, 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 ha, ha, ooh, we beat the national anthem. But let due process be followed. Let them come and meet the people and say, well, this is what we want to do. This is it. Follow the due process. Get teaching. Get it done. If Nigerians say that's what they want, oh yeah, but this process wasn't followed. And people say, what is there? They have changed it by law. This is what is there. This anyhowness, this rascality, this constitutional rascality that Tinubu has just done is the anyhowness that I was talking about then. So if you leave this man, he anyhow will continue. Before you know what's happening, you'll be seeing things you never expected that you will see. In a democracy, that remember, some people died for us to have this democracy that we are killing ourselves.